Well, you saw the thumbnail. What's the crisis, you ask? Well, there is one indeed, and I'm trying to figure out who's at fault. Probably you. Let's blame you for this because I've kind of lost my path. I've lost my direction, if you will, and we need to figure out, you and me, how to get it back. Where do we want RADBMX builds to go in the future for 2025? What is it that you want from me, Sean, your content creator and owner of RADBMX Builds, for the next several months moving forward? Because I feel like I've been all over the place trying to appease you, reading the comments, trying to listen to your ideas and execute those in these videos. I've done rides, I've done builds, I've done interviews, I've done bike shows, I've done just about every single thing that you've asked except for a couple. And that is, Sean, build this. Sean, build that. Sean, build this brand or make or model. And it's a lot. I've built hundreds of bikes. Have I built every single year, make, model, and color? No, that's darn near impossible. So I know you would like to see this bike or that bike, and I appreciate reading those comments, but I'm gonna be real honest. If the bike doesn't appeal to me or excite me in some sort of way to want to go spend thousands of dollars to build these bikes, I'm probably not going to build it because that's the one you would like. You should go build that bike. You would appreciate it a lot more. I'm looking for bikes that are exciting to build, would be good for content, something that people can relate to. That's why I build memories for people to have a nostalgic connection to. Not just like Jimmy in my comments wants me to build a JMC. Cool, Jimmy, I get it. I would love to, but I literally have zero connection to that model bike or brand bike. And when you do find them, they go for a lot of money. And then you got to put all the parts and pieces on there, and that's a lot of money. And RADBMX Builds is an LLC, a money-making business, meaning I can't dump $5,000 into a bike and then sell it hoping to turn some kind of profit, because the pool of people that are ready to spend that kind of money on a bike is very tiny. And if you've been following me long enough, I'm trying to build bikes that you can relate to that are still affordable for the majority. I know there's a good chunk of you out there that, you know, these bikes are still expensive, and they are. I've sold bikes for $1,000, $1,500. I try to keep everything below $2,500 to $2,000 down to $1,000. But man, they're not getting any cheaper. Bikes, parts, pieces are just getting more and more expensive. So what are we gonna do? What can I do to get myself out of this BMX crisis that you put me in? Let's talk about it. Okay, as you can see, man, there's just so much going on in here and so many builds happening, so many builds coming. How do you keep it all straight and still make content doing all of this? The ordering, the buying, the packing, the shipping, the selling. Well, in order to do that, bikes need to sell. Speaking of that, this one right here in this episode, I'm going to be finishing this bike, just waiting on UPS to show up, and I will be selling this beautiful 1989 GT Mach 1. On top of that, I'm taking this bike out tomorrow, weather pending, for a ride. And I think I'm going to sell this one as well. This is a beautiful 24-inch GT build that I just recently completed. Absolutely gorgeous bike. Gosh, it's so good. But I'm going to let it go. I just finished building this. It's brand new. But I want to ride it tomorrow, and then I think I'm going to sell it. So yeah, that's good news for you. You get to buy some bikes, because I don't always sell bikes. And a lot of people go to the website and they're like, hey, Sean, I went there. You don't have any bikes for sale. That's true, because I'm a builder collector, and every now and then I sell bikes to help fund build more bikes. Not every bike I have is for sale. It never has been and never will. I just occasionally will list one and put it up on there, and then they sell incredibly quick. The last bike I sold, a 1987 GT Mach 1, sold in seconds. It was just gone. So thank you to you guys that wanted to buy that bike, and a huge congratulations to the gentleman that did get the bike. If you didn't get it and you wanted it, I apologize, but there was only one bike and several of you showed interest, and that's super rad. But don't worry, like I just showed you, I have another Mach 1, a Chrome 89 coming extremely soon. What else is happening? Well, right here on this table, I'm building a GT Pro World Tour. I'm playing around with color ideas. Again, I need to make a decision really fast. Do I make another white one like I had? Or do I go yellow? Kind of like that one right there. I'm thinking I'm going to keep it a secret. So we'll talk about the World Tour later. All right, speaking of the Mach 1 build, I'm just waiting on UPS to show up and bring me pretty much my daily deliveries at this point. And he's going to be dropping off some Skyway wheels. A lot of you said, Sean, I really like the Skyways on that Mach 1. I listened to you. I read your comments. I try to reply to most, but after a couple days, it gets a little overwhelming because I'm juggling between a lot of other videos. But I try to read them, and a lot of you liked the Skyways on this, so I bought some brand new ones with some brand new Comp 3 style knobby tires. They're coming today. They're out for delivery. We're going to pop them on here. When the sun decides to come back out, we'll get some really good photos of it. We'll put it on the internet, and we'll try to sell this bike right here. Where can you buy it? No other than RADBMXBUILDS.com. Nothing's changed. If you want hats, shirts, hoodies, stickers, they're all on the website. Get over there and support us. I appreciate it. Let's talk about that. Okay, earlier in the intro, I talked about what's our path forward, right? Where are we going with this company? What is my vision? My vision is to have a great collection to share with you and to take these bikes places and to go to shows and share that content with you to the point where I don't have to always sell bikes to fund this business, addiction, collection, infatuation, whatever you want to call it. It's well beyond a hobby at this point. I think we can all agree to that. So I'm trying to build bikes that I want to keep and hang on to because you can't duplicate them. You can't find them. You're not going to run out and find a 1980 Cook Brothers Racing, a 1983 PK Ripper. It's just not that common anymore. So to just sell them to you would kind of be dumb on the collector side of me. It'd be great for the business side of me, but the collector side of me would be going, what is wrong with you? You can't just go buy another one of those. I have a CW Phase 1 Lightning Bolt bike back here, a 24-inch Hutch Pro Racer sitting back here. Again, bikes with parts that are hard to find and hard to duplicate, or if I had seller's remorse, to recreate that bike. So those ones I don't really want to get rid of. However, the Mach 1, no problem. I kept the Power Series, Pro Series. I kept the Pro Series, which is a higher end model than the Mach 1. So I'll let the Mach 1 go, no big deal. I have the top tier, as you will, instead of the middle tier Mach 1. So someone out there is going to get a really rad bike, a great bike. I'm going to keep the Pro Series because it's better. And so I'm going to hang on to that one. My crisis is, let me go back to it. Where are we going? I kind of started getting into it and I got into a rant. You guys need to tell me when I'm doing that. Sean, shut up, get to the point. Sean, shut up, show me the bike. Because I just get to talking and I get off subject like I am right now. Good Lord, I should be medicated. All right, the point is I want to start making videos and content and have a bike collection. I have to build and sell bikes to appease you and to make money. So I need your advice. I need your help. I need your knowledge and ideas. What bikes can I build with the intent to sell? What would you be interested in? Redlines, Mongoose, GT. Would you be interested in retro bikes? Craig Turner built GT bikes, old school bikes. Now be careful. When we talk about old school, they're expensive to not only find, refurbish, and build. I would have to sell them at a higher price point, obviously. For example, like the Pro Series, the PK Ripper, the Cook Brothers, these are very expensive bikes. North of probably $3K, depending on the build, parts, year, make, model. And not a lot of you are able to just go dump 3K on a bike, and I understand that. I'm not even comfortable doing that, nor should anybody be comfortable in doing that. So I don't want to just pump out $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 bikes. I want to find the sweet spot. So you tell me right below in the comments what the sweet spot is. What do you think an average consumer would be looking for a cool old school or retro BMX bike? It seems like you really liked the new Mongoose builds that I did, where I took a new Mongoose and made it a little more old school appropriate, if you will, and then sold it. I was selling those for about $1,500, $1,600. So I was making a few $100s on it, and that's about it, but they're good for content. Rotate them out there in a very affordable price point. Okay, I don't know what to do with my hands. I keep throwing them all over the place. I'll put them in my pockets. So let me know down below what interests you, because I'm kind of at a loss. You seem to want a million different things, so let's narrow it down below. Oh man, breaking news. I just got the best text message. Jim at Museum Quality finally, after all the drama, just got his 1979 Redline MX2. That's right, the one that disappeared and showed up in the hands of a previous customer that decided to keep that a secret and try to keep it for himself. But we recovered that bike, and finally, after 2 months from the original purchase, Jim has the bike. So there will be more content where we follow up with that. And when I go in June to Dirty Fest, I'm gonna try to go visit Jim and collaborate with him, and you'll be able to see the bike in his shop. I'm so happy for Jim that it's finally in the right hands. He deserves it so much. Make sure you give Museum Quality Official a follow. They're awesome people with great content. Again, congratulations, Jim. That's rad news. And just like that, UPS has arrived, bringing me my brand new Skyway Tough 2s and some Comp 3 tires and my 16-tooth freewheel. Okay, we talked before about GTs specifically. You see that notch, how the axle would drop through that slot to that big opening. Okay, what you need to do is get these retention washers that'll fill that hole. Once the axle, as you can see, has a flat edge on it, slide through there. So without doing the tire and all of that, let me show you. You bring the axle to where its flat edge is. I'm doing this with one hand, which sucks. Okay, there we go. Line up your flat edge of the axle. Come on now. And it will drop down into that notch. Okay. That was hard with one hand, so I appreciate the effort there that you're recognizing. Then that retention screw goes in there, give it a little bit of a wiggle till it's seated, and then you'll put your axle nut on the end of that to hold it in place. And it should just, nothing ever goes right when you're filming. And as you tighten it down, it'll recess into its pocket, and holding that so it'll never slip right out. Getting rid of the old prong that would go into the hole is a safety washer. That's pretty much GT's fix to that, a lot cleaner, a lot cooler. So make sure if you're building a GT, Robinson, Auburn, dyno that you have those retention washers. Okay, now that the tires and tubes are on there, and I'll spare you how I did that since the last video, I did it like 500 times. I'm just gonna skip ahead. The tires, tubes, everything already on there. And if you wanna know where I got these wheels and tires, I got them from planetbmx.com. That is really my go-to for Skyways. They always have great prices, occasionally have great sales, but they are an awesome company with amazing customer service. You can't go wrong over there. Those guys are really rad. So if you want some Skyways or something like that, they got all kinds of stuff for you over there. So go check them out. Let me get my socket. It's a 15. And we get this in there to tighten it down, get my chain tight, hold it in line. It's even on both sides. Just a little firm there. A little firm there. Tighten it up here. and tighten it up here. Okay, that's the rear. Now let's get the front. And we talked about the groove and everything already, so I shouldn't have to just show you that again. Okay, just wants to fall right in on this side. Put the safety retention washer in there, put the nut on. Same on the other side. Wiggle it around till it goes into the groove and sits flush. You want to make sure it's in the hole and sitting flush before you just get a wrench and tighten it down. Else you're going to find out that you have a very crooked front wheel. And boom. There it is. New wheels on the Mach 1. Just need some valve stem caps, I'll tell you that. But roughly, a few more things to shore up here, and we have a Mach 1 for sale that is absolutely rad, beautiful chrome, amazing condition, 3-piece cranks, brand new Skyways, GT bars, GT stem, forks, frame, crank, seat post clamp, seat, everything. An absolutely amazing bike. You can't go wrong with this. This is one gorgeous ride, and I'm gonna let it go at RADBMXBUILDS.com. So you can be the new future owner of this bike, if it's even still available by the time you're watching this video at this point, because once I put them up on the website, I share that they're available on Instagram, and then they're usually gone just like that. Okay, and that's it. Now you know that the 24-inch GT, if it's still available, is up on the website right now, along with the 1989 GT Mach 1. That's 2 bikes for sale. Like I said, by the time you see this video, they could already be gone, and for that I apologize. But you really should follow me on Instagram if you want to know when they are available, as soon as they go up on the website. Okay, back to the crisis, man. Do I just keep selling bikes? Or are you going to subscribe to this channel so I can keep some of these and build even more? Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay rad.